I just realized what shirt I'm wearing for this recording.
Well,
Did not register to me at all. And you know what? Sure.
And the way I pulled this out like 5 seconds before we all.
Purr! I love that. Anyway, hello, uglies, and welcome to the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, say something gay, and I'm drinking Coke Zero. Ooh. That's all.
is there like a Coke Zero's Anonymous we could send Logan to?
Why?
He's drinking a lot of Coke Zero.
Yeah, and what about it, Brooke?
It's just a joke.
Okay. Well, you know what's not a joke? Getting a cup mug.
Cup mug.
Waiting for it.
Oh no, I don't have lights like Lana does. But yay! We all have one.
Oh, wait. Let's see
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You know I had to.
Anyway, you can get your merch, including but not limited to cup mug, at energycreations.etsy.com. That link is in the description below. And we do ship domestically within North America and internationally, so there are no excuses unless your country is currently on fire, underwater, or under siege. On fire, under fire, or underwater. Then there are some excuses.
I try to
Whatever.
I try to do that, and it didn't work, so it's fine.
Whatever.
Anyways, I am Brandon, your professional fangirl of console dragon video games. As always, I am drinking water. And on my clean Stanley mug, because I cleaned it last night, breaking the fourth wall when we did the Thailand Instagram video, which should be out now.
Yes, it is.
I had this cleaned. Now it is squeaky, so perfect. And yes, I am so enjoying my lead. And in lieu of David, I also have a cute shirt and cute merch because I am repping the whole Dragula of it all with the fan and the shirt. So.
And I'm repping the drag race of it all with my Drag Race Live fan, and I am wearing my LaPhil shirt because there is never a bad time to shout out LaPhil.
That part.
Very true. You can't say in lieu of David, though, because I'm here too. So in addition to David.
In addition, yes.
Yes.
Juxtaposing next to David.
Yes. Above David.
Above David.
Well, that sounds like
yes.
below or beneath you.
Well, for the audio listeners on the video, Brandon is in the top row today and David is not, because that's the way we entered the studio. Anyway.
Because I'm a bottom today. I'm in my bottom era.
No, you're not. Don't fool anybody, darling.
Well, I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I decided to wear, I'm keeping the tradition going. I've been wearing all the winners, so here is my Victoria Elizabeth black shirt. One of my favorite winners, personally. And I am just drinking some water.
Victoria at center in the fan.
In the middle where she belongs.
Yes.
And hi, it's Brooke. I'm here.
I still love that your headline on here is shout out to my dogs at the crib.
Because it wouldn't let me change it when I joined the studio. But you know what? Shout out to my dogs at the crib.
Period. Well, Boulet. Well, we are back. We have made it back to Dragula in an episode that I am going to say is probably in my top 5 favorite episodes of all time. I really enjoyed this episode. That's honestly why I decided to do this episode today, because I really enjoyed this episode and I thought it was good. So that's all. But we're going to talk about it. The fighting, the throwing up, the horror, the chicken, everything that a good Dragula episode needs. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time to give you almost all things drag. Boulet. And make sure to check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, and our Patreon.
Abora.
Side note, I watched a compilation of like Dragula's most iconic moments last night on YouTube or something after I watched the episode. And right smack dab in the middle of the episode was Abora. And I was like, oh, yay. And then I remembered what a shit show Titans was.
Yep.
Don't
And
want to
speaking of a
talk
shit
about it.
show, Scylla's gone.
I still love you. You're still great. You make great
I
TV.
still love her too, but thank God she went home.
Mm-hmm.
She made
And
great
I'm very
TV.
happy I wasn't here to talk about last week's episode because I hate the human pincushion extermination challenge. I hate it. It is probably the one extermination I would not do if I were to ever hypothetically be on Dragula. Like, I think it is of all of them, I think it is the one thing I would not do. Because, no. I practically pass out when I get blood drawn.
I'm
How am
guessing,
I so... No.
guessing you don't have any tattoos.
Oh, I have 3, actually.
Girl, how the fuck?
Tattoos don't bother me, actually. It's needles going into my skin that I have a problem with. Needles on my skin, not that bad.
So you have a penetration problem.
No, not usually. Just with needles. Anyway, Scylla's gone. Have we figured out what the theming for the Boulets intros are this year? Because I'm not... I'll say this. The intro and death scenes on this season feel really weird. I don't know if, like, now that we're 3 episodes in, like, it feels a little weird to me. And it's like, is there a theming for the intro? And are all the death scenes just going to be on the set?
I'm not sure because I feel like if I remember the first episode correctly, when they did the whole death in the whole manor or mansion type of thing, I thought that was gonna be like in the along the lines of that, and now and then it gets into like the movie theater of it all from the trailer. So
yeah, and then now we're just like the intro of this episode was just an overview of the episode, like
I guess
it was giving very much like it was giving like Tales from the Crypt a little bit for me.
That's what my roommate said. That's what my roommate said was Tales of the Crypt, and I was like,
but like it didn't really connect with the episode to me. Like
at all.
No, because like when I think about like horror holiday, right? I think about like Halloween and Thanksgiving and like My Bloody Valentine and movies like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was expecting something of that ilk,
mm-hmm.
and I don't think Tales from the Crypt really like pushes those two things together.
No. At all. But we all come into the long ass boudoir. And they're doing their thing, and immediately Aurora brings up what Majesty told her last week about someone spreading rumors of her not wanting to be there, or her leaking that she was going to be at Dragula. Now, I don't know about y'all, but the way that they just constantly like zoomed in on Majesty's face, I was like, all right, what subliminal messaging are y'all trying to tell us about? And I'm curious if y'all caught that, because they kept, and there were subtle moments throughout this episode where it was like kind of shady towards Majesty. And then in the middle of the episode, we randomly get Anti-Heroine with a confessional saying, oh, I don't trust Majesty. And I'm like, what? I don't know if any of y'all caught onto it, but I was confused. I was confused. And I agree with that.
Editing was a bit weird. I don't know what they were trying to get across with this, because it kind of just came up of like, well, I mean, I heard you were going to be on, and I heard you were going to be on, and I'm from Kansas City. Like, and it was one of those kind of conversations. And I don't really know what they're doing with this. I don't get it yet. Because last week it was kind of like, oh, people are plotting, people are scheming, and now it just kind of seems like, well, you might have told somebody, and then that somebody told everybody, and everybody kind of just knew.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's really like game effecty or anything, but I don't get why they were so focused on Majesty, because correct me if I'm wrong, did she even chime up during this conversation? I don't recall that.
Just
She
once.
was like, that really sucks that that's happening to you, or something to that effect. Like,
Mhm.
very confused.
No, because
Yeah,
I
she
thought,
got Alyssa at the end.
yeah, yeah, a little bit. Because from the editing that I noticed, it's more so they just kept alluding to Majesty because Majesty was the one that first brought it up in last episode. That's what I thought was happening.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a theory, Logan. What is it?
I haven't. Well, okay. And I'm going to jump ahead for a second, since I'm going to just talk about my theory now. My theory is that something happened, something is going to happen with Majesty. And maybe Majesty is the person that was spreading this about Aurora. And maybe that ultimately leads to some like early disqualification of, and I don't know spoilers. Let me make that very, very clear. I don't know anything about the season. But I'm like, is like the editing, and I agree with you, Brooke, the editing was just weird this episode. And the amount that they focused on Majesty just for Majesty to ultimately be safe, which we'll talk about, like the way they edited this made it seem like, oh, Majesty's either going to win this week or like go home. And like that was the energy I was getting from the edit. And we'll talk about their moment later when they're getting ready. But everything surrounding Majesty in this episode just felt weird. And I don't know if they're like setting us up for something, or whether Majesty was actually the person that spread the rumors or had anything to do with it at all. And also the fact that they didn't get a whole lot of confessionals in this episode either. Like, there was no confessional about the breakdown that they had in the lab, to my knowledge. I don't remember them getting a confessional. I don't know. My theory is just that the editing was weird, and the editing around Majesty was weird. I might be reading into things because I've watched too much reality TV at this point. And also, the Boulets know exactly what they're doing. The Boulets know what they're doing. So it's like,
Yes.
The math ain't mathin'. What are you trying to tell us without telling us anything? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It felt weird. I don't know.
Again,
Anyway.
I wasn't able to say what I was able to see, so I'm not sure like what the theory is, but I do see where it's going. But at the same time, like, who knows?
Yeah. And like, at this point, Aurora's blaming Scylla for it. Sure, blame the person that's not in the room. I get it. Like, it would have been so fun, actually, if Desiree had gone home last week. Scylla walks in, and then we get the drama immediately after Aurora has now basically accused Scylla. Like, I kind of wish that had happened. I don't, because Scylla, well, quite honestly, in my opinion, I wouldn't have put Scylla in the bottom last week. That's just me. But
me the fuck too.
Am I fine with her being eliminated? Yes. But I just think it would have been so fun if she had then just walked in and then we got more drama. Like, I liked the Aurora and Scylla drama because it just felt fun for some reason, and I don't know why. But Desiree walks back in, and everyone is kind of commenting, oh, Auntie, you are not really that upset about Scylla going home. And she's like, well, she's a good friend. She's family. And I was like, she's just a good friend? She's your drag daughter. Like, this is, I don't know their relationship either, but this feels like the weirdest drag mother, drag daughter relationship I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Very confused by it. But, yeah, Auntie's basically just like, yeah, I'm upset. She's someone from home that I'm sad is not here. I would have liked to do this with her. but that's just the way things are going. Like, she was very like, I can't really do anything about this. So
I mean, sounds about right if you're like in a competition that you want to win and be like,
yeah.
so.
See, I kind of got the opposite. I got that people were surprised by how disappointed she seemed. Like, Gray was like, "Oh, do you feel relieved?" She's like, "What do you mean? Why would I feel relieved?" And she was like, "I wanted to go to the end with her." And I think people were just kind of taken aback because she hasn't openly been supportive of her in the first couple of episodes. And now she seems kind of disappointed that she's gone. So I thought that was interesting.
It's like Auntie treated their relationship like it was like a secret alliance or something. It felt very like Secret Alliance. I think she did too. Like, it felt very Secret Alliance on like a Big Brother or Survivor or something, where like, oh, these two people know each other, but they acknowledged it. But also, Auntie's playing a game here, and I do like the game she's playing, where she's like, yeah, no, she's someone that I wanted to go far with, but yeah. And I think that's really what I've noticed also 3 episodes in is this season, more than any other season, feels like a competitive drag reality show and also a social strategic game. And I love it.
I mean, from Auntie's perspective, right? It's one of those things of like, well, I may be her drag mother, but like she is a competitor here too. You know, she is someone in this competition that at the end of the day I cannot protect, right? I cannot tell her and make sure that she does everything right. I'm not scheduling her performances. I can help her with her drag, but at the end of the day, that's not my job, right? In this competition.
Yeah.
Outside of this competition, absolutely. Right? But at the end of the day, I mean, I can't blame her for her reaction. And I think it's interesting. I agree. Because I think, especially when we go back to like the first week and you saw them interacting in the Cauldron and so was like, name names, and Auntie's like, you bitch. Like, I think that just really showcased, like, I really enjoyed their relationship, even if it was only for these 2 episodes.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting what you were saying, Logan, about everybody treating it like it's a social strategy game, considering like there's not much in the dynamics of this season where it needs to be a social strategy game.
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
We had the vote in the first episode, but other than that, it's just the fright feats. And the point of winning the fright feat isn't even to help you, it's to hurt somebody else.
Yeah.
And what has that done for them so far? Both people who've been cursed have proceeded to be in the top. So I would be like, you know what? I'm good. I'm not even going to bother. I'm not going to eat this crap. No way. Who cares?
Right.
I mean, hell, it's not like you're in Titans, and if you don't do the fright feat, you get thrown out. Like, I mean,
right, exactly. And speaking of the gameplay of it all, Asia kind of acknowledges to Pi, yeah, I maybe I shouldn't have, acted that way in the Cauldron last week. And they kind of have this spat back and forth, and ultimately it doesn't mean fucking anything because by the end of the episode they're in an alliance. So I'm just like. Like, this is the most toxic relationship of the season, and unfortunately, these are my 2 favorite people right now, so I'm like, hell. Like,
I love that when Pi was like, I felt so close to you, and then I guess Gray got called out for making a face. I just love Gray, and I can tell Gray and Vivi the Force, like they are so in tune, and they make little side comments to each other about everybody else, and I'm like, that's my draft team.
I love the 2 of them together. So good. But yeah, when Gray gets called out for his face, and he's just like, you've known each other for 2 weeks. Like, huh? Like, but there's such a realism to Gray that I really appreciate.
Also love the response of, well, some of us are deciding not to go through this competition alone, which is...
Right.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, I mean, valid, but like, you know, it's kind of one of those like interesting situations.
And that's what's with this cast, like the weird dynamics, but it's in some type of way it still works somehow.
It really does work. It's so weird. I'm intrigued to see how all of these like social strategic elements are going to develop throughout the season, and whether like the Boulets, being the producers that they are going to like incorporate it into the fold of the season. Like I'm really curious what the Boulets are going to do. I hope they start being like, well, I hope they bring back. This is what I hope they bring back the key of life and death. That's what I want.
Ooh.
Hasn't missed a season in a minute.
What was it? Did we have it last season?
Yeah, we did. It was a room upgrade, but yeah.
Oh, yes,
Jarvis
yes,
used it on work. The one time I enjoyed
Yes, yes,
Jarvis
yes,
last
yes.
season.
Yes. I remember that. Yeah, I hope we get, or like the movie pass, or I don't know, some like themed thing a la the Key of Life and Death. Like I hope we get to see that. But speaking of fright feats, we get our fright feat with our hand-fisted Tammy sponsorship. Yay! Hearing the Boulets read an ad sponsorship is the most awkward thing I think I might have ever seen on TV. Just the way that they're like, Tammy, the #1 queer dating app. It's like, y'all are saleswomen. You should know better.
By whose metric, by the way?
Their own.
Their own.
Because, I mean, no shade to Tammy. Okay, I am a former
No shade to
user.
Tammy. If y'all want to
shade to
sponsor
Tammy,
us, hey,
but
I will do the world's best ad read for Tammy.
No shade to Tammy.
Guaranteed.
No shade, but like, correct me if I'm wrong, but if we're judging it purely on a download popularity listing that way, purely on downloads, I still think Grindr is yet to be dethroned.
But that's not an all-inclusive queer app. So I think that's a
True.
difference here.
Valid.
Yeah, that
Valid.
It's Grindr is anything but all inclusive.
You're right.
Oh, I know. But yes, for this fright feat, they have to do dating profile while eating disgusting bonbons.
I did not like this. It was odd, and not in like the good Dragula odd, in like the this is making me uncomfortable odd.
Yeah, pig brain and fish sauce. Ooh.
That's some Fear
I'm
Factor.
good.
Yeah, I'm
I wouldn't
good.
do it. I'm just like way too picky when it comes to food as it is. Like,
Oh yeah, no, you would not.
if it were ketchup on something, I'd be like, no, I can't do it, guys. No. But let alone pig brain and fish sauce? No. Heck no.
I'm not going to
good.
tell the jalapeno story again, but I'm just thinking about the jalapeno story.
no.
David.
Oh, no.
But I kind of liked the challenge.
Yeah,
I
did too.
It was gross. I feel like this is one of the more filth inclusive episodes we've had in a while. And I liked, not only did we see how they held up on this challenge, but we got to learn some intimate details about different people, and we got to see how they presented their story on an app.
Mhm.
So I thought that was kind of a cool angle to go with it.
Yeah. Completely putting aside them eating these bonbons or not, I actually think my winner might have been Majesty. Simply because Majesty was like, well, I was just heartbroken, and that really sucks. And I would really like someone with more brains than I'm currently holding. Like, it was so funny.
Yeah, that was great. And the fact that was the first one, too.
Literally, I was like,
okay, but purely on the metric of keeping your bonbons down, Anti-Heroin was the only one that showed like no emotion eating this bonbon.
Auntie and Asia were kind of the only ones that were like half decent.
Yeah, everybody else was like gagging. Several threw up, you know.
And one of my favorite parts of this episode was after the Boulets fully explain the fright feat. Then we get Cynthia Dahl, our beautiful exorcister, coming in to the lab to fully explain the fright feat again. And I'm just like, why? Why are you making her? They listened to the
Exactly.
Boulets.
It was literally everything that they just
word
said.
for word.
Everything.
I mean, we gotta make that paycheck that we're giving Cynthia worth something, right? Right. I mean, if she's gonna
She's
be
doing that on her own, though.
That part.
no
Cubes
she is, but,
flying everywhere. Cubes flying everywhere.
Wait, did she say that during dodgeball?
Yes.
I completely missed that. I love
I
that.
missed it. I missed it on my first time through. But shout out to Cup favorite JK and their
JK.
series recapitation where they had Cynthia on and Cynthia clarified because Jay thought that Cynthia was saying cones or something, and she's like, "No, I was saying cubes."
That's epic.
It was also
I
a very good
love
Cynthia
it.
Doll impression.
Thank you. I know. It was pretty good. No, it was cubes. Am I gonna become a Cynthia Doll impersonator? Maybe.
Instead of saying hello uglies in the intro, we'll say hello uglies in Cynthia Doll way.
Hello, uglies.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay,
good.
yeah, no, that's the
good.
new.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Boulet impression out. Cynthia Doll impression in. We're doing it. But yes, we find out after the Fright feat that the winner is Asia, and I'm okay with it because it gives me points.
I mean, I'm not like mad about it. I think this is one of those things where I was like, yeah, it was one of the acceptable winners. There you go.
And we all thought, oh, she's gonna curse Pie. Ooh, Pie's gonna get cursed. Ooh, it's gonna be Pie. No, it's great.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which makes total
the
sense.
right choice. The right choice. Like, who is the biggest competition that hasn't won a challenge so far? Gray Matter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that this curse is going from the huge mirror into a compact, like that gives a lot of that's a huge disadvantage there because.
And then when Yuri was like, well, maybe she should have cursed someone with actual makeup skills. Like me. I was like, Yuri, how dare you?
But like, no shit to Gray, but Gray does use a lot of prosthetics in their drag. Totally valid. 100%. No comment.
That is literally what they're known for. So it's
yeah,
not
that's literally their
surprising.
entire.
It's
It's like
makeup.
most of their brand. I'm not saying their makeup is bad. I mean, honestly, their makeup's really good from what we've seen of it. But like, I get the idea of like maybe Gray may not have been the right choice for this curse, this particular curse right here. But
who would I have given it to? Well, honestly, if I was anyone but Asia, I would have given it to Asia. But Asia
Well,
can't
yes.
curse. Asia would be smart not to curse herself.
if I'm Asian,
Um,
I'm giving that to anti-heroine every day of the week.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I was gonna say Aunt
No.
Auntie because
Though with how long she's done her makeup, though, it would not surprise me if she just like literally could do it without a mirror. Like that wouldn't surprise me. But
well,
anyway, well, Booley. We find out that our floor show this week is holiday themed. Ooh, yay. We're doing Holiday of Horrors. Creepy, holiday inspired looks. But this is also specifically a filth challenge, which I also love. So you have to incorporate an element of filth. Some people did. Some. I do want to ask, though, what holiday would we all do for this?
who first? Me.
I mean, I can go first since I asked the question.
Go ahead, girly.
I would do Earth Day.
that is
I thought about this
My
last
answer.
night.
That
I
is
thought about this
smart.
last night. I would do Earth Day, and I would come out as a zombie Mother Earth. And my filth element would be a literal replica of the Earth, split it in half, and eat the lava out of the middle of the Earth.
I'm here for that.
Okay.
I'm here for that.
Thank you.
I'm surprised no one has thought of that. I'm so glad that you did.
Right. I'm like, if any of y'all want to take that idea, just credit me a little bit. Okay, thanks. But like, I thought it would be a genius idea.
Because like, when I thought about this, I thought of two things. I thought of Chinese New Year.
Yeah.
However, and I say however, there's no filth, and to me, there's no filth element in Chinese New Year because again, Chinese New Year is all about like luckiness and prosperity.
Yeah,
So-
you would have to lean into something a la, like, I'm thinking of like Hoso's Filth final performance.
Yeah.
Like something along those lines would be what you would probably have to do. But
How about Black Friday? And you are just a creature made up of all things you buy, like a TV head, vacuum cleaner leg, just all sorts of items that you might buy on sale during Black Friday. And you've become all of the items.
Popstar Bench would kill that challenge.
She would.
Yeah. See, the second you said Black Friday, the first thing that popped in my head, I don't know how many Drag Duel fans we have in the audience, but was Callie Coquette's first look for Drag Duel, which ironically is the one she got sent home with. But beside the point, very much in that same ilk, and I'm here for that. That's a great idea, David Healy. My original answer was Earth Day. However, seeing as how someone has beaten me to saying Earth Day, I'm going to change it. And I am gonna go with Christmas Eve, specifically Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Because you could do like Christmas Eve, Christmas Evil, and then like you could like, yeah, like bad puns, but like horror doesn't always have to be spooky. It can all sorry, they hate that word, creepy. Horror doesn't always have to be creepy. You can make it like a little goofy, right? And like I feel like if you made it like this really terrible pun, but you also made the terrible pun like somehow terrifying, it could work. It could work.
Okay.
I could have done Pie Day.
I thought about
Why
that
didn't
too.
you? I am disappointed that Pie didn't do Pie Day.
I know.
I'm really disappointed.
There's also the idea of
And just
doing
start
Leif
like
Erikson
creepily
Day.
reciting Pi 3.14159.
There's also the idea of just doing Leif Erikson Day. Hingadingadurgan.
Groundhog Day.
Oh, that would be really good.
That could be some like. That'd be really cool. I actually like that a lot.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. I like that a lot, actually.
I'm just full of good ideas. What can I say?
That's true.
Works,
That
works
is
David
true.
Healy.
But yes, so we get everybody talking. We find out that even though the Boulets brought it up last week and we're only now seeing it this week, we have 2 sets of duplicates. And like, here's my thing, because the Boulets complain about it later. It's like, how are you supposed to completely change your concept with an undetermined amount of days in this week that you are filming it?
I think it was easier for some than others. I think, especially for Majesty, right?
Oh, Majesty should have just switched to President's Day.
Exactly. Majesty should have leaned into the President's
Or
Day.
Flag
angle.
Day.
Or Flag Day
Or
or
Flag
something.
Day.
Something. Because, I mean, that flag was freaking huge. But, like, I feel a little bad for Aurora and Pi because I don't know how else you spin that. Because, like, the only other thing I could think of is, like, well, birthday, but kind of taken. So, I mean, I guess you just do your best, you know?
Yeah.
I want to
And they
say
did.
this. I want to say this about the Boulets because I listen to their podcast every
Mhm.
week, and they have had so many times where they're talking about an episode and they're like, "Oh, this outfit was a nightmare because this one tiny thing went wrong, and we lost our minds all day wondering how we're going to deal with this one little thing that went wrong with our outfit." They would not be able to handle having to switch an entire outfit
Yeah.
the last minute. They would
Literally.
not be able to at all. So for them to be so uptight about it, and it's mainly drag.
It's mainly drag.
Yeah, it's just hypocritical. I mean, they're not in competition, but still.
Exactly. And here's what I'm going to say. Because I do like the Boulets. I think the Boulets are fun. I think the Boulets are wonderful hosts. they're slowly becoming more and more like RuPaul as the seasons go on.
You're not
Clock
wrong about
that
that.
tea.
You're not wrong about that.
No, but like for real though, you're not wrong.
No,
about
like
that.
in the like because I don't know how many days they have. Like, what is a week in Dragula filming? Like, it could be 2 days. It could be a literal 7 days. Like, I don't.
It's not 7 days.
I know it's definitely not 7 days, but I'm pretty sure it's like at least 3 or 4.
Yeah, if I remember correctly,
yeah.
If I remember correctly, it's usually 3 days to prepare.
And
'cause
then
that-
the
that's what I
fourth
remember
day
from
is the
season
floor
4.
show.
Yes. Mhm.
You're expecting someone to come in, realize someone else has done the same outfit, lower your ego so far that you decide you're going to switch your concept, build an entirely new concept with what materials and what money and what resources in at most 3 days.
But imagine the serve if you did though, and it was
I
good.
agree, but like
but like
it feels unreasonable. And at this point, I do appreciate Drac and Swan for everything they've done for Dragula, and I'm so happy with where Dragula's at now. But they are starting to become more and more unrealistic with their expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And we
I think...
saw that on display. Sorry, Brooke.
No, you're good. You're good, girl. You're good.
I appreciate it. We saw that on display literally when they're talking to Desiree later, when they're like, "Oh, you feel very season 1 or 2 Dragula," and it's like, okay, well, why is that a problem? Do I think Desiree had the worst look this week? Spoiler, yes, I do. But like, why is it why are we making that a critique of her? And why are we then shading all of the season 1 and 2 monsters?
One of which is on the show, by the way, for the record, as a friendly reminder.
Literally. Like, I'm so, like, I don't get it.
Well, and the other thing on top of that, too, right? When we're shading this, specifically the season 2 girlies, right? Because if you could shade the season 1 girlies in the respect of it was kind of a demo and a test run and see if this concept
everyone
worked,
knew each other, and they were all from LA, and the audio sucked.
And the budget wasn't really there, right? Like, whatever. Season 2 is considered by a lot of people to be the best season of Dragula, period.
And I agree.
And I agree. And some of the most popular people that have came out of that show are from season 2. Season 2 has 3 crowns for a freaking reason. Okay.
By the end of this season, they might have 4.
Like, we don't know. But like, acting like season 2 is this like black stain on the Dragula name is like, I don't get that. But the thing I was gonna say is something that I brought up last week when we talked about the whole their expectations are getting a little crazy thing. I think there's definitely a world where you can like make small edits that can like kind of change your concept, right? Like last week with the killer dolls, right? You could have changed your makeup a little bit, and that could have completely changed how your outfit looks, right? But when it comes to something like this, where it's literally, I brought a baby look for Holiday and Horror, right? And somebody else is doing the same thing. What else am I gonna do, right? Maybe birthday, but again, that was already taken too. So what else can you do? At the end of the day, maybe you could be like, yo, Jaharia, could you like maybe switch to April Fool's Day for me, Queen? And like, and if I'm Jaharia, I'm like, fuck no. This was my concept. I'm the only one doing it. Screw you, right? And at the end of the day, that's kind of what we ended up with, was that both Pi and Aurora couldn't change their outfit, couldn't change their situation because they didn't have enough time. And also because neither one of them wanted to drop their ego, and also because they both thought their look was going to be better. And spoiler alert, one of them was right.
Yep. I don't even know where to begin when it comes to all of the things that happen in the long ass boudoir. I guess we can start with the Alliance. Or David, do you have a better?
But no, before we talk about this, I want to say this is some of the worst editing I've ever seen in Dragula. Like, this was a
Can
good
we
episode,
talk about it, please?
but this was horrible. The way they presented this was too chaotic.
But yeah,
It wasn't like the conversations weren't even cohesive. I would get it if they were talking about similar things, and maybe to a degree two pairs were, or two groups were, but I did not like this. And they could have cut out the repeat of the Fright feat explanation and flesh this out a little bit more.
I agree.
In a cohesive way, because this was wild.
Also, who's saying there's a time limit on every Dragula episode is a different length? Like,
Well, and I mean, on top of that too, to add on to that, because this is something that bothered me in the moment, right? David mentioned it, but something I really want to hyper focus on. If this would have been the 4 people that were in the cauldron, like sewing their looks or whatever, and then Pi and Asia having their moment, right? If that would have been like what was going on, and then you had the Majesty stuff a little bit later or a little bit before, all of that in the episode, way better. And I think maybe what they were trying to go for was like, these are the 3 groups of people that are talking right now, and here's what each individual group is
we're
talking.
going chronologically, but that doesn't work when you're editing a TV show.
Yeah, it was weird. Weirdly edited.
And again, this is feeding into my conspiracy theory, and I'll talk about it when we get to that point. But so Asian Pie.
Quick question. I'm
Yes.
so sorry. You know those memes where like it's like different tables at a lunchroom? Which one are you sitting at? Which one are you sitting at?
Cauldron.
Cauldron.
Well, I'm sitting with Gray and Vivi and Yuri and Auntie.
Cauldron.
Yeah, so
Cauldron.
Cauldron.
Oh, is it?
Cauldron. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't remember who was where.
So Cauldron.
I thought Logan was gonna say Pi and Asia, because didn't you say they
No.
were your 2 favorites?
Yes, but I'm not sitting at that table right now while they have this awkward conversation about being in an alliance or not.
Very fair.
I just
If you're talking strictly about based on the people, I'm sitting with
Yeah.
Asian Pie.
Okay.
I would just really want to have a conversation with Auntie. I really just want to know more about Auntie as a human being.
Right.
Same.
Yeah.
Like, I like.
Oh
Yuri.
yeah, no.
I
If
love
we're basing
Yuri.
it just
Yuri's
on people,
great.
it's Asia and Pie for sure.
And
But
and also, I don't want to screw up that Gray Vivi energy, but I kind of just want to be in its
I would
presence.
live for it.
You know what I mean? Just like let the energy happen, and I won't say a word. I'll shut up for once in my damn life. But like,
what? I shut Brooke up! Yay!
I cannot.
I love you, Brooke.
many have tried, very few have succeeded.
I was like, you can't pull a Dylan from Anonymous right now on me. You can't. You're not able to.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
But back on topic.
Yeah, circling back, Asia and Pi are having a very awkward conversation where Asia's basically like, here's an ultimatum. Be in an alliance with me or not.
But even
Don't
before
put Asia
that,
consent on traitors, please.
even before that, Pi's like, "Hey, I wanted to talk to you because I know about the breakup, and there are Valentine's costumes being made."
And we literally just did a dating app featured fucking Fright feat. So how you doing?
It's like, does Pi think she's that easily triggered? And maybe she is, but like,
It seemed like she was a little bit, just like a little bit.
Well, I mean, especially considering like we know Asia not exactly old. Asia's like 28, right? So we don't know.
Oh, I thought she was older.
Yeah, she's in her late 20s, but like, she's not old, right? So this breakup was probably rather fresh, if I had to take a guess. So I mean, I don't know if I would be over being in a relationship for 6 years and then the person cheated on me for 5 years of that. I don't know if I'd be over that. You know what I mean?
and that's reasonable not to be over it. But
Yes.
I wouldn't think it would be super reasonable to be like, oh my gosh, Yuri is dressed like a teddy bear, like a taxidermy teddy bear for Valentine's Day. And that's really making me think of my ex.
Valid. I loved how he dressed like a taxidermy teddy bear for Valentine's Day.
Thank you, Logan.
God, I'm too sober for this podcast today. Anyway, yeah, so Asia and Pi have this really weird conversation, and Asia's ultimately like, hey, let me know by the end of the week. And then we go into the lab the next day, and Asia's like, TikTok.
TikTok.
I died.
Now
And then
this
Pi
is
looks at her and just goes,
now this was where the editing was good.
Oh,
But
the
it's
editing
still-
here, gorgeous.
It's so produced. Like it feels.
Well, yeah.
They're verging on feeling scripted this season because
okay,
that just did not feel organic at all.
but like, again, if they would have edited this and had this be the first conversation we had, then we get this whole alliance chat, and then we get this Majesty situation, or vice versa, right? And then we go into this with Asia like, I'm still waiting on an answer from Pi, right? It would have been a nice way to like bring that back around
The
full
weeks,
circle.
yeah. Start
Instead,
with the
it felt
alliance.
like-
Do the start with the alliance. Do the flip flop. You could even do the flip flop between the Cauldron conversation, which was about like
Majesty.
romantic relationships. So it would make sense. Juxtapose that with Majesty, and then narrative arc. Boulets. I am available for hire to be a story director for you.
But that's what I'm saying to me, because in the moment I was like, girl, you just asked her. It was like 5 minutes ago you asked her, like,
Literally,
give her some time. And I mean, granted, it was obviously like a day passed between those
at
two
least.
moments.
At least.
But like, based on the edit, if you weren't really paying attention, it probably felt like that to you, to
It
some
did.
people that weren't paying attention.
And there were a few things in between, though, at least.
Gray getting the mirror, and I think that was it.
Well, and the
Uh-huh.
discussions about like the matching outfits.
Yeah, exactly. like,
Oh
about
yeah,
5
we
minutes
talked about that
passed.
before, but
Yeah.
that
Yeah, like about 5 minutes passed between these two moments.
Yeah. In the Cauldron, they're basically just like, wow. Holidays, am I right? Like that's basically what it felt like.
Mhm. I didn't get this conversation.
Kinda, yeah.
Like-
The main conversation from the Cauldron was like, so is this actually social strategy here? Like,
I don't trust Pi. And this is
I
where we
don't
get the
trust
weird
Majesty.
anti-confessional. Yeah, that's where you get the weird anti-confessional where she's like, I don't trust Majesty. And I'm like, huh?
But why though?
I don't know. And this editing is feeding into my conspiracy theory that something happens with Majesty.
Narrative arc.
Because why otherwise would we have this weird editing if not to break up this Majesty moment and not give Majesty sympathy and instead cause confusion? I'm reading into this way too far. I know I am.
Confusion.
Maybe the fact that Aurora was like, I've been hearing this. Maybe Auntie was like, oh, I told Majesty that. Where could you have heard that from?
That is a possibility.
But yeah,
Praise God.
speaking of Majesty though, they're talking about Majesty being the only person out of this little like group of 4 people who's single. And Majesty's story, like legit, was like, oh god, that freaking sucks.
That
Holy
fucking
crap.
sucks.
That might have been one of the roughest things I've heard about like somebody talking about their significant other on reality TV in a minute. Like,
And it is edited so nonchalantly.
It is.
mhm.
And
Especially-
I don't love Majesty, but I would have liked them to have their moment to just like fully give their piece in one segment without all of this choppy editing.
hmm
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah. And the part where she's like, oh, and my uncle died, and Desiree's behind her, like, whoa, another.
Oh
thing.
God.
Like it was edited like it was supposed to be funny. And it's really not
Yeah.
funny.
no, true
No.
whiplash. True
Yeah.
whiplash.
I mean, it was, and I felt whiplash because I was just like, oh God. And then we cut immediately back over to Pi being like, I don't know if I trust you. I'm like, I got very overwhelmed as someone with ADHD. I got very overwhelmed by
Yeah,
all
I
of
wrote
it.
down as I was taking notes, I said, this is a weird edit. Stick with the story for more than 15 seconds.
No, and like
Seriously.
especially considering like the Majesty stuff was heavy, right?
Yeah.
Like literally said, I came home and all of my partner's stuff was just gone. And talking about like the emotional trauma from that. And the other two groups of people are like, alliances game talk. I don't trust Majesty, and it's just all of this like whatever mess. And I'm sitting here like, can we take 5 minutes to breathe, please? Just 5
Literally.
minutes is all I ask. Wow, this edit.
Yeah, that was like again, whiplash, a whirlwind, everything. Like, whew, okay.
Just. Was there anything else that we forgot to talk about? Because I honestly don't know.
Gray gets the mirror. It was a mirror.
Well,
It
yes,
was a
Gray
little
gets
hand
the mirror.
Yeah. I was
And I'll be
amazed.
honest, that I thought that compact was me a lot smaller.
Me too. I thought it was gonna be like one of those like just single circle ones you get in. Like,
Yeah,
a glass.
same.
Like that's what I thought they were gonna get, but no,
Mhm.
no.
No.
I mean, it didn't matter because guess what? Gray still looked great. So
Yeah.
We got to see them cover up their boy brows.
Gray matter more like
Exciting.
great matter.
more like wonderful matter.
Mhm.
I'm so attracted to gray matter. Like every
Oh,
episode,
Same.
I'm like,
same.
You don't
so
think
cute.
we all are, David?
I know, and its personality too. Like
Oh, you and Gray Matter live on the same planet of personalities
well, thank you. I'll take
See-
that as a compliment.
See,
for
I
sure.
am
and looks. Hey, look,
Oh.
I can compliment David Healy.
I am starting to develop a crush on Jaharia. I'm just gonna say that because like God, Jaharia in the confessionals, I was
Same.
like, okay, you look cute, but every time I see Jaharia out of the confessional look and like just in the long ass boudoir, I'm like, oh lordy, okay, you're
Yeah.
real cute, okay.
Mhm.
And as this has become a group of podcasters who are all thirsting after gray matter, I think I will kindly take my leave from that for the season and just begin thirsting on Jaharia. Thank you very
Hey.
much.
Well, we
Sounds
can
good.
all do a secondary person, and if so, then I am going with Vivi the Force, who's also very
Alright.
attractive.
Brandon?
Oh God. You can't do this to me.
You
You
can and you will,
Take
Brandon.
Desiree.
I cannot pick Desiree. No.
Desiree's a cutie, though.
No, this is one of those things where like
Desiree's
shout outs
taken.
to Desiree Dick who does watch
10 years.
the cup
Hmm.
here.
Hey.
Hi Desiree. But
Hey.
Brandon and Desiree do know each other, so
Yes.
Brandon Desiree's just gonna tease you if you do say anything.
I know that.
Well, I
Well,
will just since you can't decide, I will just and I'm gonna be honest here. I'll just take Asia. I
Valid.
think she's gorgeous.
She is. God, she's
She
attractive.
is.
Yeah, she is. Brandon.
Oh God.
Just take Yuri. It's the easy one.
That's the
I mean, Yuri would have been my second choice.
Great! Yay, there we go.
Did you say
And with
gay?
that- I said yay.
I heard great.
Gay!
Hey.
Is this like a gruel moment?
I'm gonna click the button.
Attention competitors. Attention competitors. The floor show is about to begin.
Every time I've watched this season, I'm like, I miss Fantasia.
Same.
Like every single episode, I'm like, I miss Fantasia and her giant tits.
Yes. Very.
Fantasia Royale, Mama.
Mama. And speaking of mother, Tananarive Due!
Logan and I, little behind the scenes content. We were talking about the episode before we started filming. We both were like, Tananarive Due.
Tananarive Due. She is my favorite guest judge. She is my
You all
favorite
just know
guest
her
judge,
from the show?
definitively. Yes, and I've since looked into a lot more of her work, and I'm like, oh, she's like a UCLA lecturer. Like the woman is absolutely incredible.
Mhm. Yeah, I've seen her on a lot of like things like Eli Roth's History of Horror. Like she's got all the
Her.
knowledge of all the horror movies. So I love her for that because I love horror movies and I'm constantly trying to introduce myself to new ones. So
And I'll be honest, my love of her started based on the fact that her name is just very fun. Tananarive Due. Like I love it. I love her. I love her name. And then also She-Hulk.
Ah,
No
Cool.
big deal.
cool.
No big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it. Loved it. A beautiful judging panel this week.
I know we were talking about them being more and more like RuPaul. This does feel like a Zaldi reject outfit to me.
This feels
Didn't
like
like
I
this.
can just feel the RuPaul sweatpants coming up from underneath here. Like, I can just
Not the
feel it coming.
sweatpants, I swear.
I genuinely think this is the first outfit the Boulets have worn on Dragula that I hate.
Oh.
I
Girl, they look
hate
like
this.
Pumpkin Batman.
This
Pumpkin
looks like a
Batman.
design challenge. Like, I just... No.
know
No.
some
I
people
don't
who
even
would
want...
make
I was
better
going to go
design
look up
challenge
who
looks
made
than
them,
this.
but I don't want to.
You know, and I'm also a little surprised that when they saw each other and saw that they were wearing the same outfit, one of them didn't switch it up.
They did
Oh.
switch the wig! They switched the wig!
They switched the wig, and that was it.
That
Oh,
was
God.
so fucking funny.
Most importantly, Tananarive Due.
Yes.
Tananarive Due.
Well, obviously we're going to talk about all of the floor shows individually over on Look Over Here, but as we now tend to do on this program, let's talk about our tops and bottoms.
Three of each.
Yeah, let's do 3 of each because there's 10 of them. Yeah, let's do 3 each. Why not? Brooke.
Okay. I agree with some of this week. I do agree with the bottom 2. I think Yuri and Desiree were my least 2 favorite of the week. Although I would say I think Yuri's look was better than a few of the other looks. I just didn't care for the performance personally. However, my other bottom was not Aurora. As much as I didn't really care for Aurora's look, my other bottom was Majesty. I didn't. Okay, it was whatever. I like the stilts. Stilts are cool, but like, my top 3 though, I had Gray and Asia both in my top 3. I think they were both fantastic. However, I did not have Vivi in my top 3. I thought Vivi's look was good. I think Vivi was like 5'4" for me. But
She was taller
personally-
than that.
No, I'm talking about Desiree. Sorry. But no. So I'm kidding. I don't know how tall Desiree is. It just if
Desiree is kind of short. I can confirm that.
Is Desiree taller than you, Brandon?
Yes, just by like
Okay,
2
good.
inches.
So
Like,
probably probably 5'4".
work. But my other top was actually Pie. I think Pie's look, the walk, the performance, like the whole thing was just really cool. I think Pie looked fantastic this week. And this is when I was like, oh, so they're not going to be featuring Pie this season, are they?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like this was the week if they were gonna be like, okay, Pie.
I was in the top last week.
Yeah, but like barely. They didn't really
Yeah,
talk that
Pie
much
should've
about
won
Pie
last
last week.
I don't think Pie was so obvious a third. Like, I think there's a handful of people who could be the third. I agree with you. Definitely Asia and Gray. I did have Pie as my third, but not by a lot.
Okay.
And I agree. I think there was a pretty clear bottom too, and that was Desiree, unfortunately, and Majesty. I think my third bottom would have been Aurora.
Oh,
Valid.
Okay.
Valid.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. So my bottom 3 was also Yuri, Desiree, and Majesty because I was very confused with Majesty because like there was no filth for me. So, and I was just like, "Where's the filth?"
She was peeing on the flag.
Oh,
That's it.
that's it.
Yep.
And then for top, I did agree with Asia and Vivi. Like I did like Gray's. I just didn't think that would be with Easter, but I did like the filth aspect of it.
Okay, that's fair, I guess.
No, but I would have put Pie over Gray for me at least.
Okay.
That exact reaction, David Healy. That one right there.
Hey, I'm glad that for the most part we all basically have the same bottoms and completely different top 3s. I do love that. So my bottom 3 would have been, I agreed with the bottom 2, unfortunately, as much as I love Yuri and as much as I am enjoying Desiree. They were, for me, the correct bottom 2. My low placement would have been Majesty as well. My top 3, I would have only kept Gray in the top 3. And my top 3 would have been Gray, Pie, and Auntie.
Valid. Valid.
So, and it comes down to, for me, it came down to understanding the holiday they're referencing as well as the filth element. Because I thought there were 4 or 5 people. Like I wasn't mad that Asia was in the top. I definitely wasn't mad that Vivi was in the top and definitely getting some praise finally. And I was very happy to see it because I have really been liking what Vivi's been presenting. But it came down to overall performance and clarity of concept, which would have kept Asia out of my top 3 simply because the garment was great. I still don't know what holiday she was.
Really?
No.
She's Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense now. I thought she was a fucking baby shower.
I don't know. She's not a good mother.
No, not at all. But did not get that until it was never explicitly mentioned in the episode either.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
And so I was like, literally, thank you for explaining that to me. But because I didn't get that, that's what would have kept Asia.
This is 3 for 3 episodes of at least one person not fully getting her runway.
Well, no.
This time it's me, which is the weird one.
I mean, hey, this is the first week I got Asia. I'll be honest,
I'll take the reins for now. I'll take it.
I get it every week.
No, and I'm not trying to shame you, Logan, like by no means, because trust me, as the person who is normally, anytime I show up on the drag channel, the person who doesn't get the reference, I can relate, and I have so much empathy for you on this one.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I mean, again, I think her look last week was fantastic. I just didn't get it until David explained it, and then when David explained it, I was like, oh no, that's really, really good. And conversation.
And now that I know it's Mother's Day, no, that's really good. But I'm just gonna go off of my original.
The nerve. I don't want to get it. Like, I'll talk about it when we talk about the looks. But
yeah,
she went where we've never seen people go on Dragula, and I really respect like the clothes hanger.
Yeah,
like,
we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that I know what it is, everything makes sense. And yeah, thrilled. But based on my original interpretation, which I'm going to stand by, my top 3 would have been Gray, Pie, and Auntie.
Gray pie sounds gross.
I was going to say earlier, Vivi Gray sounds like an 80s like synth band.
Vivi
Gray. Yeah, that does sound like an 80s synth
Who's
band.
the artist? Vivi something, Shark in the Water?
Vivi Brown?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe there's a shark in the water.
That's why I was thinking about it, because I was like, it's not Vivi Gray, but it's another color. Like, I knew it was a color.
Logan, are you on Degrassi TikTok?
No.
Because I'm on Degrassi TikTok, and
that doesn't surprise me.
There has been a trend of that promo from season 10 with Shark in the Water playing on Degrassi
Oh, I
TikTok
love that song.
lately.
I love
great
that
song. Great
but...
promo, by the way. If you're a Degrassi fan, go rewatch the season 10 promo. Great stuff. Sorry, beside the point.
Yes. Anyway, let's talk about our results and then talk about whatever the fuck this Cauldron was. So, we find out that our top 3 is Asia, Gray, and Vivi. Not mad.
Fair.
Not mad at all.
Yep.
Not mad.
Hey, the 3 people I bought shirts from before the season started.
Work, bitch.
Work.
Good job, David.
And our winner is Asia.
Not mad, just surprised.
Not mad. Not what I would have picked.
Exactly.
Yeah, wouldn't have been my winner based on the look, but based on the nerve of what she did.
Oh, yeah, no.
I think it's definitely earned.
Based on the charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent, not to pull from Drag Race, but I can't say the word on YouTube anymore. Based on the charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent, and yas that she had, y'all know what I mean.
Yes.
Absolutely, the win is deserved. For me, I would have given it to Gray.
Same.
Me too.
Also, special shout outs to Tananarive Due for making the Donnie Darko statement so I didn't have to do it on this podcast. Because I got the
Yay,
same
Tananarive
vibe.
Due.
You did.
I will once again
And
say
yet you
thank
did.
you, Tananarive Due.
Thank you, Tananarive Due. Brandon, who would your winner have been?
Of the 3 that was in the top 3 currently, I would have chose Vivi.
Okay.
Valid.
I'm also not mad at that. So
I think there were like 4 people this week that if they would have won, I would have not have been like, oh, okay, yeah,
like,
it makes sense. I see it.
Genuinely, Asia, Gray, Pi, and Vivi.
Mm-hmm. If any of them won, I was like, yeah, okay, I see it. And
I wouldn't
honestly,
have been mad.
Anti too, because I think Anti's look was really cool as well.
No, because
I don't think
Yeah, I would-
because my actual winner pick was technically Pi. So
Oh, fair. Okay, yeah.
valid.
And
I still think I would have had Gray.
the only person we haven't mentioned that I also really like what they did, even though I get the critiques for it, but I thought Jaharia killed it too in this. So
I thought Jaharia was great as well.
Yeah.
I
Also,
wouldn't have had Jaharia winning, but if Jaharia was in the top, I wouldn't have been mad.
yeah.
Same.
Can I also just ask very quickly, is this the first time in a while I feel like we've gotten to episode 3 of Dragula and not had one of those, well, we haven't had the opportunity to give you critique yet, but we're going to give you critique even though you're safe situations. I feel like it's been a few seasons since that hasn't happened.
Well, we got that
Last
Didn't
year.
Desiree get that one episode?
No,
Like,
but
no,
Desiree was in the
no.
bottom last week and this week. Like everybody
Oh,
at this
okay.
point has either been in the top or the bottom at some
Yeah.
point.
but they
And
did
I
have a
think
top 4 last week.
True, but like even then, I don't think like I think the only
I think
person
they're
that would have gotten
trying
it would have
to-
been Jaharia.
I think they're trying to do that without explicitly saying it this season.
Mhm.
Because all of the placements I agree with, though I may have shifted some people around.
Mhm.
So, which is where we end up with our bottom 3 of Aurora, Desiree, and Yuri. And for me personally, I would not have had Aurora anywhere near the bottom. I understand their critiques, but I actually thought this was maybe my favorite thing Aurora has presented so far.
See, the problem for me is I think 8 out of the 10 did really well, including
Yes.
Aurora. But I actually liked I have issues with Yuri, but I really liked the look of it. I thought it was pretty cool. So by default, really, I did have Aurora in my bottom 3, but Majesty really got lucky. I think we all 4 had Majesty in the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lucky, Saved by Production. Lucky, Saved by
Conspiracy
Production.
theory.
It's coming, y'all. Keep watching.
Conspiracy theories. But we end up with a bottom 2 of Desiree and Yuri. And we'll come back to that. Because the actual climax of the episode happens in the Cauldron.
Before we get there, can we talk about some of the, or at least one of the critiques that the Boulets had for looks?
Sure. Yeah, go
Because
for it.
they were really going in on Desiree for not having a turkey, and she's like, they're out of season. Like, I really did not think having a chicken was that big of a deal. I'm probably the only one who feels that way here, but
No,
I think she
thought
did
it
the
was a-
best she
I
could.
thought it was a duck.
Did you?
but again, does it matter? Because I guarantee you, there are people that have chicken for Thanksgiving instead of turkey. My family has ham instead of turkey. Okay, I'm just
I have
saying.
ham instead of turkey.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if like, does it really matter that much? I don't think so. I think they were
And
just wanting
that
to nitpick
is
this
why that is another example of where I'm like, ooh, the Boulets are slowly kind of becoming the Roulets.
week. Not the roulettes.
No, yeah, I was
Well,
gonna.
Roulette.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Shangri-Roulettes, if you will.
Her.
Yeah, that's the thing about it, because like I've had chicken in Thanksgiving before, because my family refused to get turkey for good reason.
Oh.
For a good reason, because
Oh,
chicken,
yes.
yeah, but it's like it's weird to me because this is like, so they have to follow the actual holiday, and I'm like, again, like if it's the horror and filth element of Dragula, like yes, the horror, like no, there's a chicken, not a turkey. Like I thought that was smart.
Is that a chicken?
Is that a little pig?
Again, not talking about looks here. That is definitely something you can tune in to look over here if you want more of our opinions on that. But like, yeah, that was one of the dumbest things to nitpick about this look. There were not trying to be shady. There were other things they could have focused on that would have been more valid critiques than that chicken.
Right.
So Cauldron.
The fact that the look was pedestrian. But anyway. But yes. Oh God, this Cauldron. So they come back in, and Yuri is immediately pissed, angry, upset at herself, and that's about it. And Desiree is on one, for lack of a better term. And I'm going to say this right now. Desiree, I like you. I like your drag. I think you are a very fun character on this season. This whole Cauldron moment was weird. This whole Cauldron moment was very weird.
Yeah.
I was kind of uncomfortable. And I'm not going to say I was uncomfortable with like anyone's particular behavior, but it was again one of those situations that felt really weirdly edited. I feel like there were things that were like missing from this conversation. It felt like it just kind of went one bop, 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 and suddenly we're here to the climax of the entire episode, which I'm not going to spoil yet. But like, Yuri has this really emotional moment where she's like, yeah, I attempted to unalive myself recently, like just over a year ago. And I'm still not fully through that, right? And then it just kind of jumps into Yuri and Desiree going back and forth, and I feel like we're missing something in that gap there.
Yeah, because in the edit, what we see Yuri's talking, and then Desiree kind of interrupts her, and Yuri, like, for lack of a better term, kind of just sees red, and is just like, basically just like, can you let me have my moment, please? Because you just keep talking over everybody else. It was very uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I have a feeling Desiree might not have been fully listening to what Yuri was saying. I think it probably was a lot longer than what we got in the edit of them comforting Yuri, which is understandable. And then eventually Desiree is like, hello, I'm here too. And I get it from her perspective. Everybody's focusing on Yuri when Desiree's probably feeling like, this is my last day here. I was just in the bottom. Things aren't looking good for me. Can I have a moment too? And when Yuri was like, you're talking over me. And then Desiree said, I let you talk. And Yuri even admits, yes, you did. Thank you. But then it escalated from there. So I really think with it, how it was condensed, it makes Desiree's actions seem a lot worse than they probably really were. But still, it was just unfortunate considering the story we just heard from Yuri. It was really not the right timing to be kind of interjecting.
Yeah, the timing was like, I should have just like taken a step back and just be like, okay, let that process. And I'm glad that Auntie was just like, no, wait for it. And just
Auntie, more like mother.
yes.
Mother heroine.
Literally, because she was shutting up the two children.
And she's the drag mom.
Oh.
Mother heroine.
The best part, though, was Auntie was like, why are we fighting? And then Desiree would try to be like, what? And then she'd be like, no.
No.
She was not saying the part like, this is a rhetorical question. I'm not really asking why we're fighting. Don't answer it.
Yeah, literally.
And she asked it again, and Desiree once again tried to answer why they were fighting.
Yeah. Something else that we haven't mentioned yet, which was the middle of the entire fight. Desiree has the chicken. Y'all, I didn't realize we were getting an Osborne's reunion tonight, but she literally throws the chicken at Yuri. And Yuri just like throws it out of the way, grabs her drink, and chucks it. But like the thing is,
my favorite part of the episode is just the slow-mo on Nar.
And Pie. I was
then,
like, she
but the
said
thing is,
no.
she tosses
No.
her drink, but the thing is, she's so far away that she ends up hitting like 4 people with the drink.
She mostly hit Aurora, and Aurora's like, "What did I do?"
Why did you throw a drink at me? And I'm like, oh,
We had
okay,
everybody retelling it.
I know this entire situation
Oh,
was very
God.
serious, but this one specific part was so camp. Oh my god.
The montage of everybody explaining what just happened was hilarious to me. Like, I need to go back and watch
I
it.
think it was Gray who said specifically, what are the side effects of salmonella? Which I thought was like, God, you're so right when you say that Gray is just so funny with these little
Mhm.
ones. Like, God, I love Gray.
Silent but deadly.
No,
Truly.
literally. And speaking of salmonella, the fact that like Desiree actually ate a piece of that raw chicken on the floor show.
Cringe.
Yeah, I was like, oh
No.
no, I've
I
seen
just
Desiree
got
do.
full. I just got full body chills.
Yeah. Also, I've seen Desiree do worse. So
Ooh.
Work, bitch. But yeah,
Oh.
weird situation.
yeah, very
My
weird.
favorite part, I had to go back and look because I was really curious. My favorite part is Aurora going, "It's a bird, it's a plane." No, it's an actual fucking bird.
Again, this is one of those moments I feel like is just going to be part of Dracula lore after this episode.
And then
It's like, do you remember when Mimi I'm first picked up India Farah? Like that kind of vibe.
It felt very sugar daddy moment.
Literally throws drink, throws chicken.
Throws chicken, throws drink.
Throws drink.
Nar!
If they
Yeah.
would have played Ave Maria over the chicken getting
No,
No.
Maria.
Is if there's nothing else Desiree can take away from the season, she probably has like a top 10 or top 5 moment ever on Dracula with that.
Yeah. Throws chicken.
mind you, like there were 2 moments from the trailer that just happened in the first few episodes. I'm just like, I
We
am
knew the drink was flying.
Yeah,
They
the
showed
drink. The drink, yes. The drink,
They
and
didn't
then
show the chicken.
also this dress is bad, that breastplate is bad, and this outfit's bad.
Uh-huh.
So and then so can't get over related to that. Asia was just like, what does the chicken make? Quack quack. And it's
Oh
fine.
no! Oh my god! And then she says, "I'm not a botanist." I also
Right.
thought-
And Yuri going, "I threw my drink because I didn't have anything else to throw." Just
And valid.
valid. The whole sequence is
This
They-
cauldron was like the awkward, hilarious, awkward sandwich. Like,
it felt like a cauldron out of season 4. Like it felt like fucking Mary Cherry and Sigourney Beaver going at it again, but this time it's Desiree and Yuri
Yuri.
featuring chicken.
Zavaleta and J. Jolie, honestly, like
Do you
And
all
the
know?
chicken is Bitter Betty.
You all know how
Well-
Entertainment Weekly sometimes does like articles, like they do a retelling of a moment and they like interview all these people and it's like a 20-page thing. They're going to do this one day for this moment.
Oh, I hope.
oh my lord.
Oh my god. But okay. Anyway, we got our bottom 2. Our extermination is another repeat extermination. Are we doing this all season?
You know they got to run out of ideas. At
I mean,
some
they
point.
did sharks.
Okay, the last 2 have been repeats.
And they are 2 that I would never want to do.
Well, the crazy
Oh
thing
no.
too.
This is the
crazy
other
thing
one
too
that
is-
I would hate.
The crazy thing too is that they've done the first 2 exterminations from season. The first extermination from season 1, the first extermination from season 3, or 2 and 3. Sorry, not 1 and 3. Next week, Buried Alive.
Please. That is one of my that's another all-time favorite moment for me because that extermination I crack up every time because they're all in the caskets underground and all the stuff is pouring in like over their head and Pinche, her face is directly under the tube. So everything's going right on her face. Everything like the other ones, it's like going on their chest, and she's just like gargling on like termites the whole time.
Aren't we all?
Watch it back; it is hilarious.
And Meatball the whole time just like, no! No! Oh, God. No, but we are skydiving. And thankfully, this time they both did it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Valencia.
Literally, that's all.
Like, how do you determine who gets eliminated through this extermination?
Track
Right?
record.
Whoever
This is-
had the worst look, therefore Desiree.
Okay,
Yeah.
but this is something we talked about last year too. Okay, I don't remember the specific extermination, but there was an extermination. Okay, yeah, it was this the bungee jump extermination, right? With JK
Yeah, I was gonna say, yep.
and Satana, right? And Lana was the one who brought it up, and Lana was like, "I don't understand why JK got exterminated here, because like they both did it, and neither one of them really complained, and like they both just did it, and like." Yeah, that is one of my recurring problems with Dragula, is like sometimes the exterminations just don't matter.
Usually, they don't matter.
Sometimes they just don't, because like when you have like obviously when you have stuff like this a few weeks ago with the needles, like last week with the needles, right? Yeah, duh. There was stuff there that could affect it. And like the sharks, yeah, maybe you should have dived for longer, I guess, severity, I don't know. But like they both jumped out of the plane. So
Yep.
they really just got to do a really cool experience that a lot of people pay hundreds of dollars to go do.
Honestly, like I've always seen the exterminations as, can you do this? If you can't, you're out. If you can, we're judging off of something else. We're going off a track record. We're going off who was the worst in this challenge. But I rarely, I can think of 2 times where I think the extermination has absolutely mattered.
Let's see, Dolly in season
Dolly.
2, Violencia season 3.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yep.
Book closed.
Well, I mean, I don't think it mattered, but I do think JK quitting the labor simulation in last season also probably didn't help anything. I still think JK was going home unless Fantasia quit, but like
The
Probably
only
did.
other one that like the extermination itself was so stupid, and their performance might have done something. Is like I'm thinking of like Madeline Hatter and Maxi Glamour on season 3 when they had to do the thing and everyone threw the food at them, and like Max.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Like that's like Madeline did really really well, and Maxi just didn't. I don't think Madeline was going home, but
Yeah.
like
F the big picture, Clint. That is where she won. That's where she
Yeah.
stayed.
yeah, 100%. But yeah, Desiree is gone, and I'm gonna be really honest. One of the most unoriginal death scenes Dragula's ever done.
I
and
don't get it.
She got hit by a camera.
But then why was she like bloody and like cut up and
Because she got hit in the head
Yeah.
by a camera.
But like we didn't
The
even see
lens
impact.
broke in her face. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, for someone who was as entertaining as Desiree was in 3 episodes, I would have liked to see her get a better death.
She deserved a chicken to the face. Like,
She deserved to suffocate after fisting a chicken.
Or Family Guy style, where fights a chicken and instead of the chicken losing.
Or they put a turkey on her head and then cut off her
they're
head.
out of season though.
I know.
See, I would love if that was the original idea, and then they realized, oh shit, they really are out of season.
They're like, wait, we really
Okay,
can't
they
find
made-
these. in
No,
this
but I
store.
think all of these are just going to be based on the set, so they're all going to happen on the set. That's
True.
not
they're
fun.
also kind of supposed to be based off of whatever they were wearing that day. And I had a hard time connecting this to what she was wearing. The first 2 I could, this one not so much.
I don't
even really get severities, honestly.
Well, she was Candyman, and Candyman you summon through the mirror, so you get she
Oh,
through the
okay,
mirror.
no, that makes sense.
And then Scylla was Miss Runner Up, and yeah, like it makes sense.
Yeah,
I
okay,
don't-
that makes sense then.
But like this, I was just, I don't get it. I didn't really care for it.
She got hit by a Oh, is it because she wanted to have so much camera time that she got
Maybe.
killed by a camera?
She should have said no when the camera came.
No, imagine
You
we
should have
think
said
this
no.
entire death scene is gonna be Yuri, right? And at the last second,
Right.
no, and then it hits Desiree and it kills Desiree.
That would have been everything.
Camp, pure camp.
Pure camp. Where's the camp in the death scenes? God.
It's been a minute since we got some. Well, I mean, I don't know. I thought Stella's was funny as hell, but
Oh, Scylla has probably one of my favorite death scenes ever, honestly. I love
mood,
Scylla's.
mood.
That's how you would go, Brooke.
I'm not that cocky. I'm not at all.
Anyway, Desiree,
No.
I may not have
No.
agreed with everything you said on Dragula, but I think you're entertaining as fuck.
I would love for Desiree to be the Extra Sister next season, personally.
I could
Like,
see
I
it.
Oh.
think
I can see it.
personality-wise, I think the only person who has that like level of energy just like radiating off of them off this cast that could do it is like Jaharia.
Mhm.
I think it should be Jaharia.
Keep it in KC, yeah.
Period.
But like if it's not Jaharia, I think Desiree is a very good choice as well.
Or if Asia somehow doesn't win the season, Asia.
Well, we'll see.
I could also see Asia, but
What- Severity?
Now that's just mean, David. Now that's just mean and disrespectful.
Why would you make us say such things about Severity Stone?
What did Severity Stone ever do to you?
You know, I had her in a different draft and she didn't get me any points. So that's what she did to me.
Well, you know who had her in this draft? Brandon. And you know who
Mhm.
else Brandon had in this draft?
Desiree.
And unfortunately, it means that Brandon is the first person out of the draft this season with potentially the lowest draft score since we modified our draft system.
Work, Diva.
So Brandon ends the season with 4 points. Anyway, in fifth currently is Brooke with 14 points. In fourth is Jack with 16 points. In third is myself with 19.5 points. In second place is David with 21, and currently still leading the draft is Eve with 22 points.
Let's go, Ms.
It's
the
a
Bunny.
close game.
I'm coming for her.
Ooh. And I would talk about what happens next week, but we don't get to find out. So that's all.
You want our opinions of the looks? Turn into a look over here, the companion show.
Do you want to do the outro, Brooke?
No, I just wanted to say that one thing.
Oh, damn. I was hoping for more.
I can.
Anyway,
I can if you want.
No, I got it. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Dragula. Like Brooke said, make sure to check out our look over here, where we're going to talk all about the looks from this floor show. In the meantime, subscribe, like, and share on the way out. Make sure to check out the description below, where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, our Patreon, our social media, and where you can get your merch, including but not limited to Cup Mug. And with all that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. So, cheers.
Cheers.
No.
Nar.
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 Nar.